Good morning. This is update, I think, number 9. I am 226 pounds this morning, and I think Thursday was 223, so 3 pounds in 4 days is not ideal, even though I don't feel like I've eaten all that different. The goal was 224 and a half anyways, so I guess I overshot it a bit on accident. That or tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be back down to 222, so it won't matter. Physique wise, I'm getting stronger. I don't know if I'm looking better or feeling like I look bigger, but I'm stronger, I guess, so that's on track, I suppose. Been thinking a lot about something that Chris Williams said and Chris Bumstead were talking about, and I've heard some other people talk about when they've been on Modern Wisdom. Shout out Chris Williamson. And they were talking about feeling feelings and how if you don't feel feelings, you can kind of go numb to them or shut them off, and you can't feel everything as much. And I noticed that yesterday when I was at a soccer game with my dad, and I was having a really good time, but I wasn't as excited as I used to be when I would go to sporting events I never really felt like I could really let myself go. And I kind of noticed that's because I try to shut off other feelings. And they were kind of right about that if you try not to feel sad or angry, you try not to feel the bad emotions, it's hard to feel the good emotions too. You don't really get to pick and choose. You don't get to pick and choose what emotions come through and what don't. If you don't want emotions to come through, the emotions won't come through, whether it's good or bad, which sucks a lot, because I feel like I should have been happier. I should be more excited, more happy, more positive, but I can't. But how much of that is just because I don't allow myself to feel negative, or at least I do everything I can to avoid feeling negative. I don't want to feel bad or down or anything like that. I have to feel good or positive. I don't think that's a healthy way to go about things. I don't think that's the way I should go about things. I don't know how to allow myself to feel the bad emotions, though. How to not avoid wanting to feel embarrassed, because I don't enjoy it, and I don't want to feel sad, and I don't want to feel bad about what I do or down about myself, and yet I try to avoid all of that if I can. I don't know how to fix that necessarily. So I guess all I can do for now is try to figure that out. Another thought is I always think of myself as an overthinker, and I think too much about things. And then I realize I'm actually avoiding thinking a lot of the time. I'm trying not to think. I keep telling myself, I'm such a thoughtful, in-depth person that is so within his mind that I overthink everything and I think too much. And I've noticed that on certain things, probably, I ruminate on some bad things. But when it comes to good things or things that actually need to get done or what I should do, I just turn my brain off and decide, fuck it, I'll just roll with the punches now. Which is, I don't understand that. I don't know why it is that when I really need to think about things, I completely turn my brain off. But the things that have no bearing effect on my life, that it just day-to-day, regular conversation, regular say hi to someone, those are the things that I get really amped up and antsy, and oh my god, if I say the wrong thing, and if I do the wrong thing, this is where things go badly. And I'm not entirely sure why. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But that's what I do, I guess, is I like to overthink. I would overthink having a conversation with a regular person, just saying, hello, how are you? But thinking about my future and the issues that I might face and how do I go about difficult tasks at work requires nothing. And I decide to turn my brain off completely. It's concerning. I don't know why. That's just how it is. All I can do is try and figure out how to start thinking a bit more about these things. And I guess sitting in quiet, I tried to avoid that. Sometimes I avoid it by putting on music, and I've noticed that if I just turn the music off and sit and think for a minute, things tend to be a little better. I tend to feel a little bit more okay, which makes sense because I think about the things I need to think about when I give myself silence and a bit of time, instead of just trying to always, well, I'll play music and I'll go for a run, or I'll go for a walk, or I'll go do this. Or I can go for a walk or a run, but I always have music, or I always have a podcast, or I have to be doing something that takes brain power away and makes me think less. Think less. Makes me not think, period. Little solutions that I have to fix, little things that I have to look at. Life is life. We continue on, try to figure it all out. All right. See you on Wednesday.